welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. So depending on when you joined my channel, I used to do daycare quite a few years ago. And you know, as a daycare provider, you are either helping potty train children or helping them in the bathroom. And it was always funny to see the different ways they learn to wipe. I know this is not a topic for soap, but it's funny. But you know, you have the one child who like takes, you know, like does the whole right, and then wads it up into this big ball, you know, and proceeds to think he's going to wipe his bottom, like, and do that 3 times. It's like, I don't know what your parents are teaching you, but that's not right. Or you have the child who, you know, pulls it off and then wraps it around their whole hand as a protective glove. So my grandson got in trouble at my house because he was taking soap bars and smashing them with the soap dispenser, right? Like digging them out. He actually did it at my mom's house. And I wasn't impressed at all. Like I chewed his little butt out. But he did it at my house too, and I was like just done. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, you need supervised visits in the bathroom because you're not going to keep destroying things. I said, and this isn't even your house. This isn't your soap bar. You have no right to do that. So, okay, so proceeding on, you know, every time he went to the bathroom, I'd give him a couple minutes and I'd go check on him, you know, and he was very infuriated with me, but I was like, I'm sorry. This is the consequence of you destroying my soap bars. One time he was at my mom's. We were at my mom's house. And I walked in there and he's like, I'm done. And I said, he goes, just gonna wipe. And I said, okay, fine, you know. And I'm just looking around making sure that, you know, he hasn't been messing with stuff on the counter instead. And I proceed to watch him take one little square. He takes one little square off and puts it on his knee. He takes one more little square and puts it on his knee. And then he proceeds to pick up the 2 squares in his hand. And all I can think is, that is why there is streaks of unmentionable things on my walls sometimes. Like, I'm so glad I painted my bathroom wall. Love it, because I can wash the wall, actually. It was actually primered when we got the house, and yes, never painted it, and ugh, wish I had done that a long time ago. So this is what the unmentionable streaks are on my bathroom wall, and I'm like, you need a little bit more toilet paper than that. And he's like, no, I don't, you know, and he's doing his thing. Proceeds to bring the 2 squares back and try and fold them over. And in the process, I'm like, this is why your hands, you need gloves on those hands, boy. You know, I've never seen that. Usually kids are using, you know, too much toilet paper and plugging the toilet. Or, you know, and I'm just like, this explains so much, so much. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. It was so funny. It was funny. Yeah, kids, how they learn, you know, what they learn and how they learn, and yeah. Okay, fine. Maybe you didn't find it funny. Anyway, today we are doing another soap in the Mayflowers series of soaps. So 3 things: be kind, be forgiving, and be you. And let's go check out the strawberry wine. Okay, and to our soap strawberry wine. The first thing I did was I took my homemade melt and pour and I made these cute little strawberries for the top. If you remember last year, I made chocolate covered strawberries, and this year I thought, you know, we gotta change it up a bit. And then I just painted some mica on the top. I think it's, does it tell me? Jade green. With just a little bit of alcohol, because otherwise it didn't, you know, want to stick. But, so, yep, had to get all the jade green and paint that on there. And then to the body of the soap. So that is just half the liquid in the lye water. And this time I do not forget to add the wine. Yay, me. It's like, oh, whoops. Yeah. So I do not forget to add the wine. It's in that cute glass just on top that you see there. And I just, sometimes I think it should be fine. This fragrance oil doesn't usually accelerate, but being I was mixing champagne and strawberry together to get my strawberry wine fragrance, it along with the wine. Usually I can do this. I don't get it. Usually I'm fine with, I've made wine soaps before where they're just stunningly silky and swirly. And then, I don't know. And it can't be this was the master butter batch number 3. They're just alternating certain oils in them. That's all it is, you guys. But, I was a little shocked. I was a little shocked at how thick it was starting to look. So my colors, there is titanium dioxide in the big bowl. You're going to see it come up. And there's also snowflake mica mixed into that. This also contains all the champagne fragrance, while the kiwi green to the right of you and the red from Brambleberry contain all the strawberry fragrance oil. Maybe I should have just combined them, but I didn't want to. But I really wasn't expecting what I got out of it. But it's still it's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. Yeah. It's like a third of the green, a third of the red. No, it's not. It's a fourth of the green, a fourth of the red, and half of the white batter. That's how I did it. I had lots of ideas for this. Initially, I was going to do a side pour and do, the white, the green, the red, the white, the green, or it would be like white, green, white, red, white. And maybe down the road I'll get to do one of those. It really is starting to sound like Christmas, isn't it? So it's probably a good thing it didn't turn out and do that way, because I could have had bigger problems and bigger issues than what I had, Yeah, you're just wondering like what? So as you can see, a drop swirl, because it was getting thick. I thought I'll do a drop swirl. Maybe what I should have done was a bowl swirl. I would have had a little more control of the swirls themselves, but that green and that red, well, they weren't gonna, it's almost soap on a stick. They weren't going to, what do I want to say? Mix or blend. They weren't so liquid that they were going to turn brown on me. I didn't have that problem at all. What I did have was this chunky mess. And yeah, mess is what it was, because it was, I mean, I don't, I like to blame it on the sugars, on the wine. Because no, I do not normally evaporate my wine. Every once in a while I will, just because I'm thinking ahead. But for this one I didn't. So it was just boom, out of the fridge into the container, waiting for me to put it with the soap. Yeah. And you can see like that looks like a whole chunky monkey there. Yes. Very chunky monkey. Yeah, pound it down good, and you're going to have to do more than that because, yeah. So then I decided I'll take a hanger to it. It is very thick, you guys. And it's interesting that it's the green and the red that are so thick. And I mean, really, what did I add to the white? Titanium dioxide with a little smidge of water. I guess I could have tried that to see if it would have helped. It might have helped, or added a little bit more oil, give it a little bit bigger super fat than what it's at now, but I don't know. So we continue forward and we make do with what's due. And so the top is all that nice creamy champagne scent. I was kind of hoping the snowflake mica would pull through a little bit. And it might have, not really for what I was hoping. I mean, I've done spectacular with that before. Maybe the titanium dioxide, just muted it too much. I don't know. But yeah, it was a messy soap. Very. But don't forget, on the top, we have these gorgeous strawberries that are more than 1 inch thick, unfortunately. And my bars tend to be just over that 1 inch. I don't know if they're 1 and 1/10. What is that? It could be 1 and 1/10. I don't know. But I decided that I was going to put them on a little bit more randomly because they were just so big. Nobody's going to get, it's not going to fit when I cut. So I might as well just slice them up. They're sliced strawberries, right? But they are so pretty. And if you want to know what colors the strawberries were made out of, they are made out of an equal ratio of Voodoo by Mad Micah's and Brambleberry Red. Yes. And I did have green left over, and I was going to put leaves, and I decided it looked dumb with those leaves already painted. So I just took the remaining, the pretty mica. Was it jade? It was jade green mica, and put it on top, and then just gave it a little swirl in. And I think I put some eco glitter on this, from what I remember. I was having too much fun swirling. I've been really playing with soap lately. Yeah, wait till you see some of the summer ones coming up. They won't be here for a while. It's so weird because for July and June, I need to start the fall soaps, right? And have them done by July so that they can come out in September. I like to give them at least 6 weeks to cure because my house tends to be a little warm. But yeah, and then so in July, I will be starting some of the Christmas soaps, and those usually take me till August to do. But I know it's a soaper's life is so ahead of it, especially when you do these series. I'm just kind of like, do I want to do the series? Do I want to continue doing series? I do actually have fun doing series, but oof, yeah, decide. Interesting on the bottom. Yeah, we got some color on the bottom. That's always a good thing when you do something like this. And then I was trying to figure out where those strawberries were going to end. Which side should I start with? That's always a guessing game. I do think that is so pretty on top. I really like those strawberries. Yep. Like I said, last year I did chocolate covered strawberries, and then they had the zigzag cut because I didn't want to use my wire cutter to cut them. But I didn't have much problem with it, so that was okay. They did not go on, I don't think they went on a heat pad at all. Next time I probably will, just to make it go through a bigger gel phase. Doesn't that look like a strawberry? Like the green on top with the red, doesn't that look like a actual strawberry? I about fell over when I saw that. I'm like, it's a strawberry. And then we get into the more of the middle, and it gets a little more, blended up and swirly. And yeah, for the chunky monkey that thing was, this turned out way better than I thought. Seriously, way better than anything I imagined. And here are the fragrance notes for these super cute bars. Here are the bars right after I cut them, and here are the bars when they're totally cured. As always, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I will see you next time. God bless.